So this is what a bad book report looks like. Now, if you didn't read the book, I've been there, brothers and sisters. Okay, so now a person who's done his homework would say, "Man, I really care about South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia." And Trump, all he cares about is his own voters because it affects him, and those are his voters. He should care a lot about the Carolinas, etc. Right? But you would do a little bit of homework, and you would say, "Hey, here's the number of FEMA responders we're going to send down there," and you talk about the number of trucks and supplies, etc. But he doesn't read, doesn't care, never does his homework. So he's like, "Okay, I will fill up the time by telling you things you didn't know, like that hurricanes are tremendously wet."
So tremendously big and tremendously wet.
Okay, that's like doing a book report on Jackie Robinson.
It's a hurricane, it's not porn. Just focus. Just focus for a second, okay? You're the president of the United States. There are people that are concerned about losing electricity, losing their lives, if they're not prepared for this. He's a clown.
Of course I read the book on Jackie Robinson. He played baseball, he played it tremendously. He was tremendously Jackie and also tremendously Robinson.
Okay. So one of Trump's many failures was how he handled Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. Now, as we had reported a few weeks back, as nearly 3,000 people lost their lives. Those were the updated numbers that we had talked about. And Trump is still under the impression that he's done a fantastic job in the relief efforts and the response to Hurricane Maria. In fact, he wanted to emphasize that again in the same press conference.
What lesson do we take from what happened in Puerto Rico? How do we apply the lessons we took from Puerto Rico?
Well, I think Puerto Rico was incredibly successful. Puerto Rico was actually our toughest one of all because it's an island. I actually think it was one of the best jobs that's ever been done with respect to what this is all about. And the problem with Puerto Rico is their electric grid and their electric generating plant was dead before the storms ever hit. It was in very bad shape. It was in bankruptcy. Had no money. The job that FEMA and law enforcement and everybody did, working along with the governor in Puerto Rico, I think was tremendous. I think that Puerto Rico was an incredible unsung success. Texas, we have been given A-pluses for. Florida, we've been given A-pluses for. I think in a certain way, the best job we did was Puerto Rico, but nobody would understand that. We've gotten a lot of receptivity, a lot of thanks for the job we've done in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
More people died in that hurricane than died in Hurricane Katrina. And that was considered one of the worst moments of George W. Bush's presidency, rightfully so. But this guy, this monster, is so self-obsessed. The question was, what did you learn from Puerto Rico? The correct answer, even if you wanted to be political, would be to say, well, look, we learned some lessons from Puerto Rico, and what we want to do is have the responders in place first and talk around just a couple of data points from Puerto Rico, which could help you in South Carolina. Instead, we got A-pluses in Florida. And, when he said A-plus in Texas, and then he went to Florida, and I thought, maybe he's going to say an A-minus. Like just a tiny bit of humility.
Yeah.
No, everything's an A-plus. And Puerto Rico, which was an unbelievable disaster, they bundled it. The worst part of it is that most of those people died after the storm. We could have done something to save them. But this knucklehead doesn't care about that. In fact, in the middle of the answer, he blamed them. Well, they were already bankrupt, and they had no money down there. And so, instead of, hey, man, I really wish we could have helped them more. I wish we could have done this or that. No, it was an unsung success. A lot of people are giving us credit for it. Who's giving you credit outside of Lou Dobbs and Sean Hannity, you monster? Who brags about over 2,900 people dead on his watch? He has no conscience. He has no empathy whatsoever. That is what defines a sociopath. And sometimes it's funny. He said it again. Well, Puerto Rico was the worst because it was an island. And then other times it's just tragic. So people living in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia now, I hope that other people in the administration are confident because you are not going to get any kind of confidence out of your president. God help you as that storm is bearing down on you. Hopefully, as Bob Woodward reported, and the guy who wrote the op-ed, that there are people inside the administration not listening to Donald Trump now and actually getting prepared and maybe help you save your lives.